Hello and welcome to Wednesday. Today's topic is sexuality versus gender. As far as gender is concerned, I'm bi-gendered, which I've sort of touched on before, especially like on my personal channel, but basically the short definition of that is just that it's a very fluid thing for me. Some days I feel like a guy and sometimes I feel like a girl, and my entire identity changes with that gender fluctuations. As a guy, I'm much more sociable. I like to go shopping. I like makeup. I like boys. And I'm very extroverted, and I love to talk. I'm always sort of the person who at the party would be in the center of things, that sort of thing. But then as a girl, I feel much more introverted and much more intellectual in the sense that I'm more interested in history and in geography and in literature. And as a guy, I'm much more interested in, not that I, that's our cockatoo. He's waking up from his nap. Yes, Peaches, you're very pretty, honey, but I'm trying to make a video. As a boy, I'm much more interested in pop culture and in music and in the production of music and in movies and that sort of thing. So it's a definite split in that sense. But I've talked to other bi-gendered people, and some of them have a more defined split and some have a less defined split. So some people really feel as though they have two spirits, and some people feel as though they're one person, but they have fluctuations in their personality and in their gender expression. So I sort of fall in the middle of that. Sexuality-wise, I like guys. Regardless of whether I'm in guy or girl mode, I think guys are the greatest. As a girl, I've never been interested in other girls, so I'd be considered straight. I never even hung out with girls, so very straight in the sense of, like, I like guys and I hang out with guys. And as a guy, I don't hang out with girls. I always hung out with guys, too. So I hang out with guys and I like guys very much. So I would be gay. So you could say that that's sort of a sliding spectrum as well. When it really comes down to it, my major opinion about gender and sexuality and those sort of things is, in my ideal utopia, gender wouldn't exist, because I feel as though gender and just the fact that it exists on this very set binary, or even that it exists at all, is the major source of a lot of problems within the LGBT community, if not within society in general. Because society is very preachy in saying, girls do this, girls don't do that. Boys do this, boys don't do that. And if gender didn't exist, can you imagine how liberating that would be to everyone? All of a sudden, nobody would look at a girl who wanted to play in the dirt as like, oh, she's a tomboy. They would just say, oh, Mary likes playing in the dirt. Maybe Mary will be an archaeologist. Or, oh, Mark likes playing with Barbies and doing their hair. Maybe Mark will be a beauticianist. Maybe Mark will do hair. It wouldn't even be a thing. Nobody would ever question it. And then if two, what we would call men, wanted to get married, nobody would say anything, because it wouldn't be about two men getting married. It would be like, oh, Mark and Adam are getting married. That's so nice. They love each other so much. I'm really happy for them. Or Sally and Bob are getting married. I'm so happy for them because they love each other very much and now they're getting married. That's great. And it just wouldn't be a big deal. Or if you were transgendered, for example, that wouldn't exist. That wouldn't be a thing. It would just be like, oh, Sabrina doesn't like the name Sabrina and doesn't want boobs anymore. Sabrina wants to be called Alex and doesn't want boobs. I'm glad that Alex feels better now without having breasts. You see, it wouldn't be about gender. It would be simply about your physical being, and it would be about your mind, and it would be about who you are as a person, as opposed to what society says you should be like as a person because of your sex. You see? And that's something that I firmly believe probably won't ever happen, but that I wish that it would. And I think that the world would be a better place that way. So that's really my big spiel as far as sex and gender and sexuality and those sort of things are concerned. That's definitely my opinion, and I feel very strongly about it because, of course, being bi-gendered, it's difficult having to operate on this sliding scale when the rest of the society doesn't really see gender expression as a sliding scale. They see it as one thing or the other, and for people like me, it's not that way. And if there was no such thing as gender, I wouldn't feel so awkward about switching back and forth. I would just feel differently, and it wouldn't be about, oh, today I feel like a boy, or today I feel like a girl. It's like, no, today I just feel like going and reading up on what's going on with Lady Gaga and her hip tear, as opposed to reading about the history of Germany. And nobody would think anything of it. So, yeah, that's that. Well, that's been interesting. So, until I see you guys next Wednesday, take care.